Welcome. I am so happy to present this Happy Birthday Gandhi flow. Gandhi was a spiritual protester, peaceful protester, trying to rise above humanity and have everyone connect to the greater good of all humanity. So let's take time to find a little bit more peace, a little bit more tranquility, and a lot more openness into your heart to have unconditional love to all beings. So find your most comfortable seat, the place where you can connect, to ground down, and to find your breath. And when you're ready, close your eyes, lengthening your spine, opening up your heart, turning the volume down on everything else except for being the observer of your breath. Let that be the limelight. Let that be your guide. The foundation of your life is always with you. Be curious as to how you breathe. Can you think of your breath as a three-dimensional box? You have sides to your box, the top and the bottom, the front and the back. And when you breathe, do you find peace in the way your heart feels as you connect and slow down? On the inhale, breathe in, I am peace. And on the exhale, with tranquility, I am peace. With tranquility. Finding that balance, finding that harmony about the inhalation and the exhalation. Your breath is with you every second of your day. So be with it in this present moment to just get a little bit more slow down, a little bit more quiet. For there are many answers in our silence. And it feels amazing to just simply let everything go. Just being able to breathe unfiltered, no judgment. Invite those shoulders down the back of your body and bring your hands to your heart and maybe roll those shoulders. Let's bring some peaceful movements with this tranquil breath. Maybe moving and rolling your ribs from side to side. Be curious in how, even though we're grounding down, can we move with our breath into our ribs, in our ribs with our breath, switching directions. And then bring your hands in front of your heart. Grab some length into your spine and reaching those arms above your head, maybe interlace them, flip the palms over, and as much as we're grounding down into our seat, the palms lift up, bending at your elbows, and maybe rounding the arms, come into reaching from side to side. And maybe settle the right hand as you reach the left. Move into the wrist. Plant the hand on the shoulder. Circle. See if you can take the weight of the world off those shoulders. And maybe outstretch the neck. Switching sides. Left hand grinds. Right arm reaches round that wrist. Float that hand on the shoulder, opening it up. Be curious where you need peace in your body and give it that peaceful breath. Bring those hands together, maybe separating the fingers, the thumbs, from right hand to left hand. And find that simple seat. And it feels amazing just to breathe. Children playing. Those simple things that we never want to take for granted. Giving our future generations the opportunity to live the best life ever and what we can teach them. Let's bring it onto our bellies. I'm going to flip on over. My forearms are planted. Pulling back all 10 fingers. Feel the lengthening sensation up the front of my body. Moving the head from one delicious direction to the other delicious direction. Maybe bending at my left knee, looking left to right. Be curious of how you can expand that breath and get those deeper muscles to find some peace. What can you do to release in your spine? Be curious as we flex and lengthen. One more time, lengthening into your body. And if we take flight into locust, rounding the wrists, rounding those ankles, maybe add that reaching from side to side. Hands plant underneath the shoulders. Find the knees as you lift up the hips. Press down to lift up. Child's pose. Big toes together. Fingertips reach out. Feel a sense of length in your spine and flexion here. shifting to the left, shifting to the right, never being violent to our bodies is a good place to be. Adjust your sails, adjust your breath. If even being on your knees are not so available, maybe a 90 degrees maybe works. But if you can hang out in quadruped, grip all 10 fingers, pull it back, maybe wrapping those tries to open up the chest. Find that breath. These breaths are the moments that really connect us to higher ground of what's really important. Find your cat as you round. Maybe even gentler with the hips to open and the spine, one segment at a time, widening the collarbones all the way up into the skull. Try that again, segmentally, breaking down some peace, some space into each of the vertebrae. We're going to hover the knees. Feel the core active, down dog. Pedal out the heels. And we're gently walking those heels, those feet, those footprints to the top of your mat. Maybe rest the chest on top of the thigh, elbow to hand, hand to elbow. And simply breathe. Hands plant to the top of the thighs. Utkatasana, lengthen your spine here. Find that flexion without sucking the tailbone under. Really separate those body parts. And then hold the spine long, interlace the fingers. Come up to your standing tall position, broadening your chest. Relaxing your hands at your side. Find your mountain. What makes you stand tall? What makes you feel on top of the world? Arms lift, inhale. Big length, big stretch, energy into the fingers. Fold forward, bending at your knees, hinging from the hips, hands plant, left foot steps back, drop the knee, but not the toe. Take a bow. And then slurp into a longer spine, and then take a bow. Maybe picking up the toe as you lift and lower the toes. Let's open it out into a reverse warrior position and move into a variation. Press through the feet. Add that reach. Goddess squat. Knees reach out energetically and maybe parallel the feet, hinging. Hands plant in front of the heart. Slightly angle the knees. Come into a malasana. Press in through the feet. Reach with the knees. As you lift tall and standing, interlace those fingers. Reverse. Tapping down. And then tapping forward. Just take it around. See if you can be peaceful and moving with that energy. Both hands plant. Right foot steps back in a plank. Drop your knees and your toes. Lower it on down. Chest opens. Find that peace. Find that heart center. Work with that breath. Move the way it's going to give some happiness in your body. Press down to lift up into down dog. Pedal out the heels. And we're walking those feet to the top of your mat. Hands plant to the top of the thighs, lengthen the spine, hinge from that belly button. And then press down to lift up here. Maybe interlace the fingers as the heart opens. Add that reach. And land the hands in front of your heart. Where do you feel that love? Where is that love fest happening? Just being able to take care of you. Fold forward, hands plant, left foot steps back. Drop the back knee, take a bow. Try to keep the knee wrapping inward and maybe lengthening the spine, picking up the toes, lengthening the spine one more time, lengthening, be tapping, invite those shoulders down, reversing that warrior, come into that variation. How can we make movements that are peaceful in our body? Where do we connect from? Wide angle. Open it out. Hinging. Bending at your knees. Reaching those knees energetically, maybe planting the hands in that malasana. Sometimes I like to use the opposition against the outside of my elbows to the inside of my knees, inside of my thighs, and then reach up to ground down to make it a lighter lift of deliciousness. Add that reach. And we're tapping to the back of our mat and tapping to the front of our mat. Is there harmony in the way that we move? Or not? One more. And if not, it's opportunity for our body to learn. Always learning how to create more harmony in our body. Maybe baby cobra, maybe upward dog. Pull all 10 fingers back. Keep those triceps wrapping. Maybe energize the tops of the thighs from your mat. And then as you come down, keep the weight of the world off those shoulders into baby cobra. A lot of big demand in the shoulders, in the tries. Upward dog. And then with control, feel that supple spine in action, baby cobra. Use action into those fingertips to pull the chest wall open. Child's pose. Nice job. Drift to the left. Drift to the right. Let's bring those feet out. Find your most comfortable seat. Find that length in your spine here. Let that gift of your body working together as one be radiated into your body, into your heart. Find that imprint. Where is that breath land? I want to help your body before we come down into Savasana to use maybe a little roller, soft roller, to get that energy even more into the spine and the hips. So I'm going to start off with sitting on top of my round roller and just rolling over my sitting bones. We always want to stay grounded and rooted in everything that we do. Slightly angling, maybe coming onto my forearms, opening and closing with breath. And then as I press up, challenging that slight angle to the opposite direction. Do we ground down easier on one side than the other? And then bring your hands to support the skull as you come to your middle of your back. Add some movement. Maybe scrubbing the shoulder blade, and then add that reach. As much as I'm pressing my feels away, I am stretching my arms in the opposite direction. Show your body how much you love it every day. Give it some love, give it some harmony, give it some happiness. Add that reach. You can most certainly do this with a block, just to get into those nooks and crannies, to get your juiciness happening in your body. If you do have a round roller, I'm pushing in through my feet and letting it travel down the length of my spine, maybe feeling my core. And this time, as I come back, I'm just resting my skull on top and just being curious as to how that feels. I'm always working on the bottom edge of my skull, never on the neck space itself. One hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. And take that breath. And your choice, whether you come into Savasana or if you choose to come into more of a seat, is totally up to you. Always coming back to your breath. Always coming back to just some moral basics of how to breathe a little better and to love a little more. Wiggling the fingers and the toes, grounding the wrists and the ankles. Maybe giving yourself a big hug by cradling those knees up to the chest and rocking to the left, rocking to the right. As you gently roll off to the side, roll off to the side, take that pause. And then come back to your seat. Finding that length in your spine, find your ground. Hands plant to the heart. Inhale. Open the mouth. Let it go. Let it out. Let it go. Inhale. Holding at the top. Open the mouth. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Holding at the top. Open the mouth. Exhale. Let it go. What we can learn from amazing souls who have walked on this planet. What we can learn from just giving and receiving love to all beings, and especially yourselves. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.